Welcome back this Saturday morning. Each week we dive into different business topics and chat with boss babes who are leveling up. But before we begin, let me welcome my amazing co-hosts, Stitches and Tracy Campoli. Welcome.
Hello. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. Ladies. I can never get enough of you guys. What can I say?
So, ladies, I got a question. Okay, can I ask it?
Okay.
So I'm not nosy per se, but I'm just interested in what people are listening. It's kind of part of my job to know what people are listening to and what they're watching. So, question for you, ladies. What podcast are you into now or subscribe to?
Ooh, Tracy, I'll let you kick off with podcasts.
Oh, this is good. Well, okay. So I listen to a lot of podcasts. I love listening to them while I take a walk. So for me, that's very like feeding my mind, feeding my body, getting in nature. Like it kind of checks off all the boxes. Nice. However, one podcast that I enjoy a lot, it's kind of guilty pleasure, but I'm going to just confess it here. It's Giggly Squad.
Oh,
sounds funny.
It's these two girls that are on a show on Bravo. They're on Summer House. So it's Paige DeSorbo and Hannah Berner. And it's just really, to me, it's very funny. I think there's something about the fact that they are entrepreneurial themselves. So they've sort of created this brand, which I think is really brilliant. You know, they're in their late 20s. So for me, it's kind of also like memory lane, bring me back to the days. But for some
21, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I actually, I'm also into podcasts. I prefer to listen to YouTube, where Tracy's a star. But I love that. My favorite thing is to watch interviews, and my favorite at the moment is Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has lots of different cool YouTube videos, and I can't get enough. He's all about the quantum field, about how, you know, what we see in the physical world is like literally 1% of what is happening. It's all vibrational, and I agree with him, and I love learning about it. And he's also quite sciencey, which I've also begun to like. What about you, Stitches?
I think, like you said, a bit of mix of both. I'm kind of I like audiobooks a lot as well.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find more time to kind of get back in the swing of things. There is something Transformation Church. They do a lot of kind of on YouTube, other than Tracy. But podcast, it's just slowly but surely. But I know that iHeart is #1 for podcasting, and we have a podcast.
Yes, iHeart. So let's talk about books since we're diving in there. So what have you guys been reading lately, and what do you recommend to other women? And maybe if you want to tie into the business too.
Books are my favorite. Books are my favorite. And the one constant thing in my life, when people say, you know, they don't have time to read, I'm like, always just have a book on you. Right. So like instead of the muscle reflex to check your phone, if you have, so maybe someone's running 5 minutes late, or I mean, like it happens all the time. We have these pockets throughout the day. If you have a book on you, you'll read a book a week.
I am a huge reader. And so a fun fact that I just learned recently, I love reading on Kindle, which I've heard that only over 40s.
I love it.
So funny, but I fit both of those bills. Absolutely. I love reading a lot of essays, a lot of biographies. I do love reading business books, but I also love reading biographies. So I just read Diane von Furstenberg's, I think it was her first one. I forget what the name of it was. It wasn't the woman I wanted to be. It was the one before that. And I just read that. And I just think her story is absolutely fascinating. I always am reading like 4 different books at a time. I'm also reading an NLP book right now. I read, I like having a Kindle because then I can kind of mix and match. And also for that screen time, you can have the Kindle app. So even if it's just for us oldies over 40, when you're waiting in line, you can be reading. What about you, Stitches?
That's funny. So 21 young baby, that's what you are.
That's right.
But for me, I read devotionals. I read the scripture. I read the Bible every day, just to keep, like we talked about, just kind of keeping your mind centered and before you even start the day. But there is a book that I'm picking back up. It was by Michael Todd, and it's called Relationship Goals. And he talks about just kind of, it has a very different perspective of relationships. And I'm picking it back up. I read most of it, but then I'm like, okay, let me just read it again.
So this conversation is just heating up, and we are excited to dive into more business conversation and chat with some amazing women. All that and more up next. But first, get ready for our Saturday beauty secrets. Yes, secrets. Shh. It's time for a conversation with Karen in the Founders Corner. Good morning, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi everyone, I'm Karen Ballou, founder of Immunicology Skincare, and I'm here to talk to you today about the Lava Mask. This is one of my newest products that is now entering into the marketplace, and you all have to get it. You know, I want to just show you really quickly that you open up this little pouch and get the little side, get this, and you open it up and you have this sheet mask that looks just like this, and it gets warm. So you open it up, it looks like this. It has those little cushions here, and look what happens. So once I do that, I put a little bit of water in there, and look how it turns into a nice, puffy, warm mask. So I want to share this with all of you because you can put this over your serums, you can put it over your masks, and look at this. It goes from being flat to a nice little cushiony mask that you put over your face, and you soak in that warmth on your skin. Now, what it does is it actually helps to open up the pores, which is what we call expand the pores, and let for absorption of those serums into the skin. But more than that, I want to share with you this. We're going to start conversations with Karen. That's a beauty series that we'll be doing, and we'll be talking about different types of products. You know, being a beauty expert in the industry, it's been so important for me to share with others about their beauty tips. So think about joining us with Conversations with Karen, the beauty series, and get the latest information about beauty.
Welcome back to the Connect Show, South Florida on Fox 29. Our Saturday is just getting warmed up, and we're so excited to have our next guest, Grace Brown, with us. Also known as the Momentum Mindset Coach, with us, talking about getting unstuck and so much more. Welcome, Grace.
Hello.
We love your
Hey,
name,
how are
the Momentum Coach. Tell us what a Momentum
Yes.
Coach does, Grace.
Nice.
A momentum coach gets you unstuck. Whether it's in your mindset, which is where it all begins, right? 95% unconscious mind that we have, in life, love, your relationships, careers, just getting you unstuck and creating that forward momentum to move on in your life, to get past all that junk, that crap.
Grace, I want to ask you, because you are such an overcomer, sis, and you have had some life experiences that probably would have caused some other people to just, honey, quit and get stuck, to be quite honest with you. But you figured out a way out, and
Yes.
you got through. So can you please just tell us about some of your experience and what pushed you and how you got through?
Yes.
How did you get unstuck?
Tell us, Grace.
Well, where should I begin? No, so a big part of the pivotal moment in my life is when I lost my only child. I lost my son to suicide a couple of years ago, actually going on 3 years this summer. And he was in the military at the time. And in life, especially as women, we have these different titles. I see mompreneur, I see CEO, there's aunt, niece, sister, cousin, whomever. But the title that ranks all of those is mom. And whether it's an adult child that's, away in a whole nother country, or a child, a 5-year-old running around the house right now, mom outranks all those titles. And so when you lose that, when that's taken away from you suddenly, you can lose your mind and you can get stuck,
Whoa.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where to begin, but I'm going to start. So in your bio, you mentioned meditation and motivational messages, among other things, were key tools to help you go from such a traumatic experience. So can you tell us specifically how you use these tools to pivot?
Layering. had to layer. We're triune beings, body, soul, and spirit. And so you have to feed each one of those differently. If that's reading, if that's meditating, that's centering, creating that awareness. Another key tool for me was journaling. Believe it or not, it sounds so simple. It sounds, trendy, but you can't underestimate the power of journaling and actually writing these things out, getting your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. Some people, they may go back and read them. For me, I never went back and read it again. Actually, some pages I even ripped out, burned up, cut up, whatever, and just got rid of those. And that was my way of releasing it.
Grace, you're being so generous with us today, with what you've experienced, what you're sharing with us, with your mindset, with your own strength. I'm in admiration of you, truly, in this moment. And one thing that I know that you speak about, talk about, work on your clients with, is the mindset specifically, and going from maybe more of a fixed mindset to specifically a growth mindset. For anyone who's experiencing great loss, great difficulty, what doesn't seem possible in terms of surviving and having and being able to process feelings and move forward, how does the growth and fixed mindset play into this?
Really great question. And so, first of all, understanding the different mindsets, right? So with a fixed mindset, that believes that, you're born this way. It's very black and white. You're born this way. It's a natural talent, natural gift that creates your success, or how you're going to go through life, right? And then it is the growth mindset that says, it takes on challenges. So there's always room for development. There's always room for growth. And the fixed mindset will actually avoid challenges that could reveal any vulnerabilities, whether they're aware of them or not, and they may or may not want others to become aware of them as well. And then, and also, again, because they believe that it's their own natural talents that got them to any success that they have right now, anything outside of that, they shut that down, right? Whereas, again, going back to the growth mindset, they welcome challenges. They're looking for those opportunities to grow, because they know in that growth is where the momentum is. And so when it comes to experiencing any type of loss or anything like this, again, realizing that although, you've had this experience and you're wanting to get unstuck, looking for where you can grow, okay? So using these beliefs that bubble up to your advantage, and say, so when it goes back to challenging those beliefs, right? Where can you grow? So, okay, maybe, you found evidence and realized, well, this here is, true about me, but how can I grow? What can I learn from that? What is the takeaway? How can I develop? And then that's how, in a tough situation, whether, it is grief or anything else, it could be a layoff, it could be a divorce, that's where you can use, develop your growth mindset and come out of that by looking for opportunities for growth and for development, and not thinking that, well, it was, my fault, I did it wrong, or it's their fault, they did it wrong. Because if there are some areas of opportunity for us, then we can take those same problems, those same beliefs, that same mindset into a whole other situation and have the same problem.
Thank you so much, Grace, for your generosity. So where can people find you?
You can find me at www.momentumcoachingwithgrace.com. That is my website. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook, The Momentum Mindset Coach. You can WhatsApp me at 832-844-6940. I'm here. That you're going to start seeing more of me, so I won't be hard to find.
Grace has got you covered. Grace
is there for you. So let's do a mindset shift. So thank you so much, Grace. What a great way to start our show. And I really know that so many people in our audience are going to benefit from what you shared here today. So up next, we are checking in with Christy Primer. She is talking all about how to crush your goals, coming up next.
Welcome to Crush It with Christy. I'm Christy Primer, president of Primetime Consulting Services. Everything that my products and services lead to is empowering and educating women to step up and into the woman they want to be. A lot of times women get lost in the hustle and bustle of being a mom, being a wife, being a manager, a business owner. They forget to slow down and really tap into what they want. That's where I step in. I would love it if we could connect and really look at where you want to upgrade your life, starting with your mindset and really tapping into your dreams and desires. You can have it all. The relationship, the money, the business, the family. You just have to make the decision that you're worth it. Connect with me on Instagram or check out my website, and let's link arms and help you live your best life.
I'm Kayla Ciati. I love making women feel beautiful with everything fashion and beauty. You are watching the Connect Network TV.
Welcome back and happy Saturday. Our next guest is self-proclaimed hippie, free spirit, and lives her life in color. How cool is that? This Pinterest powerhouse is living her best life and is ready to help other bloggers and content creators do the same thing. Help me welcome Shaunda Necole. Welcome.
Hi, ladies. Hi, everyone.
Welcome with us.
We're so happy that you were here, Shaunda. So you started off in corporate and you left corporate to start your own business in the cheerleading space, which I think is fascinating. And then somehow your Instagram account took off. So talk to us about your interesting story with all these twists and turns that took you to end up where you are today.
Sure. Thanks, first of all, for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And yes, it was quite a pivot. So I started off in corporate 15 to 18 some years ago. And I do feel like that gave me a really good, solid foundation for becoming an entrepreneur and running my businesses today. So from there, at that time when I left corporate and never looked back, my daughter was a young girl. She's an adult daughter now, but she was doing cheerleading. And we had difficulty finding things for her. I mean, internet, it just wasn't as big as it is now where you just go and order things online. Mm-hmm. So we started a store. We created a store for cheerleaders inside a shopping mall, if you happen to remember what a shopping mall is. And we ended up scaling that business to a wholesale company where our biggest buyer was Amazon. So we were distributing product through Amazon. We went from retail to like warehouse office space. And I found myself with a little bit of extra time, not having to work retail 363 days a year. So I started collecting this home decor line, Mackenzie Childs, that I still adore and love so much. And I found out, because when I jump in, I go all in. I found out that they have this huge annual sale that saves you tons of money every year in their little village in upstate New York. So it's the sale. The village has about 900 people and 20,000 fanatics like myself come through each year for this sale. So I said I was going, and then I thought, well, I'm sure there are other women who'd want to go to the sale too, like me, but maybe can't, or, for whatever reason they can't go. So I put an ad on eBay, and I invited women you pay a fee to get on my shopping list, and I'll take a commission from whatever I purchase from you. And it became like a business from there. So I went to the sale, and one of my customers said, hey, the brand's having a contest on Instagram, and you could skip the line if you win. Well, I didn't have an Instagram. I had no personal social media.
I love it.
Social media for my cheerleading business, and the cheerleaders that worked in the company ran that.
Shaunda, this is very cool. How do you go from an Instagram brand new, to then taking that Instagram account success and turning it into a business? How does that happen?
Well, definitely leveraging relationships. It's huge. So I always say that it's my partnerships that really put my business on the map. And I think not having social media was a really good thing, because I came in and I could see like the forest for the trees. So I just approached social media like I would approach you if I saw you in the mall or on the street.
Yeah.
Hi, please, thank you. And I just enjoy people. So the connections and the building relationships was really important to me. And I just naturally leveraged that for more opportunities and more growth. And then I went into Pinterest and learned a lot about that platform. And that's what really was a game changer for my business, and, really skyrocketed my blog for more opportunities and to actually cultivate a community of women that I interact with every day.
So Shaunda, I know that we love to give implementable tips here on the Connect Network. So can you share some of the key things that someone might not know about how to get started as a blogger, or if they're wanting to become a content creator? What would you say that they should start with?
Sure. That question I get asked probably most often is, how do I start a blog, or how do I become an influencer? And the answer is totally just do it. Start before you're ready. So people say, I don't have a following. Well, none of us do. We just have to, you have to just put yourself out there and get going. And the rest will correct itself along the way. So you just have to really just do it. Start before you're ready and just get going.
That'd be perfect.
Well, thank you so much, Shaunda. We do appreciate you hanging out with us and bringing all of your awesomeness. So before we go, tell us again where we can find you.
Sure. You can find me. It's my name, is my website. So it's ShaundaNecole.com. If you want to contact me about Pinterest, I have free live training going on. We're relaunching my Pinterest Magic Marketing course. So it's ShaundaNecole.com/Pinterest. And you can sign up for that. And I'm also always at ShaundaNecole.com. But if you want to just subscribe because you love Mackenzie Childs or you want to talk about something else, it's ShaundaNecole.com/subscribe. And I'm also on Instagram at ShaundaNecole.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you so much. So up next, we are checking in with Teresa, the owner of Powerstyling. She is sharing how you can evolve your style and make sure your wardrobe brings joy to your life.
Marketing for local businesses is critical, but it can be pretty confusing. At Vivial, we work with you to understand your business and individual marketing needs to tailor a custom designed solution so you can focus on what you do best, running your business.
Want to learn more about Vivial's digital marketing services? Find us online at vivial.net/Natalie.
Our next guest has been in the fashion industry for over 15 years. She's passionate about helping others see themselves shine. So please help me welcome Teresa from Powerstyling. Welcome, Teresa.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Thrilled to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Teresa, tell us, how did Powerstyling begin?
Okay, well, Powerstyling actually existed in my head a really long time ago. It's an evolution of all the fashion experience I've had throughout my life. I was very intentional in naming my business. The Power in Power Stylings is an acronym for the pursuit of wealth, elegance, and refinement. And so between that and everybody, you know, who doesn't want a little power as well? I began the company in 2014 when I was a full-time executive assistant on Wall Street. And it was a passion project of mine. So I would work my full-time corporate job 9 to 5. And then from 5 to 9, I would work on power stylings. So it was something that I saw a need for while I was actually immersed in the corporate world. And once I started dressing my clients, I saw changes in their motivation, changes in their mindset. And so that led them to have better output and ultimately better positions, which is something that everybody needs.
Teresa, first and foremost, I love the colors, boo. Yes, colors.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And speaking of color and styling in general, what is different about you as a stylist?
Okay, well, I am different because I have that personal touch. And honestly, I also have life experience, as you can tell from my grades. So I understood early on that fashion was not only for that 6 foot tall model. I'm 5'3". And so for me, fashion belongs to everyone. Some of the designers now have gotten the memo and they're doing a lot of inclusive lines, and you know, that's amazing. One of my favorites is Christian Siriano. He's just styles all the celebrities in various sizes. It's really good to see. And I'm not just focused on the celebrity. I'm looking to make the biggest impact on people in general. So I can do that reaching everyday people. So the executive, the new mom, somebody that's had a weight loss, maybe somebody looking to get that second date, so a good first impression. So that's how I feel I can really impact the world. So you need somebody that sees you and that can assess your body and your needs and match what's best for you.
Before you tell us how we can contact you and if we want to get you as a stylist, you have to tell us what are some of the upcoming summer trends and your favorites that we must have and that you have.
Well, okay, so fashion is cyclical, all right? And so the 90s are back in a major way. And so we're talking baggy jeans, crochet ensemble, crop tops, things like that. You know, and not all trends are for everybody. So it's important to realize that. But if I had to pick a couple that I think would work for everyone or for most people, there are two that stick out to me. One is the silk scarf, because that is very versatile. You could wear it on your head. You could wear it as a belt. You could wear it, as even a top, right? So that goes into the silk crop top thing that you can wear, right? And for those who don't do crop tops, there's color green. The color green you're gonna see everywhere when you're shopping. Hello, you are all rainbow. Hello, stitches.
Then I got a belt that I can put over my head.
There you go.
That's cool.
Always on trend.
Stitches. There's so many different color greens now. One of the biggest ones is sage, right? So you wear olive green. So if you don't have any green in your closet, go out and get that now, because it's the best thing. And so
green it up. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
But if they don't want to go get it, tell them how they can find you so you can go get it.
Yes.
All right. You can contact me at powerstylings.com, and that is all one word, powerstylings with an S.com. And please follow me on my social media pages. I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, and I'm going to be starting a TikTok page soon to talk fashion and everything cool.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. We are enjoying our Saturday morning and chatting with some really amazing women. And we have more, so don't turn that channel. We'll be right back after the break.
Stop Checking Your Likes is the hottest must-read of the moment. This is not a book about social media. It's about shaking off that need for approval and living your incredible life. It's available everywhere books are sold.
What a show! Oh my gosh, I've enjoyed our guest so much today and our conversation. What has been your biggest takeaway from this show specifically?
I'll start. Mindset is everything. Mindset, from the most tragic of experiences to the beautiful of experiences, it's your mindset, and that we have the power to shift that.
I love it. From mindset to style to, I think just not being scared to shift. We have some of our women who have gone from corporate to doing other things and they still succeeded. Some who have had trials and still succeeded. So it's okay to have to shift sometimes, and you can still win.
I think what I've loved about today's show specifically is the courage of our guests. And doing different things and experiencing different things, and just watching them just makes me think bigger for myself.
That's right. So true. Well, if you are enjoying all of this girl boss magic, make sure you catch up on all of our past episodes over on our YouTube channel. You can binge watch them Netflix style, as you know you do, over at Natalie's Network.
And don't forget to join our membership. Register today at theconnectonline.com.
Boom. And don't forget, if you want to see another great show, we'll just see you here next Saturday, right here, The Connect Show, South Florida, only on Fox 29. We love you and we appreciate you.
Yes, we do. Go have a great weekend.
Let's touch and agree.